Okay, Reuben, lovely to see you, mate.
Hey there.
Very excited that yeah you could join me today. How are you feeling today?
That's all right. Yeah, feeling very well, thanks. It's a nice day, and just making the most of it. What about yourself?
Awesome. Yeah, it's been a really special day for me. I went out for lunch with a friend. Yeah, I've been looking forward to seeing you because it's been some time since I last saw you. I know you went to Japan, so it's good to have you back. And yeah, really appreciate you for sharing with us and for those at home a little bit more about your journey, and the progress that you've made. So yeah, for those at home, can you please share perhaps just a little bit more about yourself? Your background, what you've been doing for work.
Yeah, for sure. So, thank you for that, by the way. And yeah, so I'm a personal trainer, and originally got into the industry because of years of chronic pain, and and then had surgeries, and then was bounced around the healthcare industry, and I know what it was like to feel helpless, basically, because I felt helpless for a very long time, being stuck in pain, and eventually met people and discovered different systems of how to get out of pain, and that helped me a lot physically. And then I think due to sort of almost a decade of chronic pain, I had developed poor habits and a poor self-image based upon not being able to exercise or not being able to train as hard as I want to be, and then I would feel potentially less of myself, and then also just sort of organization and productivity habits, because I was always literally just in so much physical pain. I couldn't focus, and I never developed those habits. And that's when I met Dave, and sort of he really kicked me off on my journey on being able to get into deeper work on organization and all that stuff. So yeah, I've been in the industry for about a year now and got lots of years of experience. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Hey, thank you for sharing. And as someone who's also unfortunately been bounced around the medical system, I can appreciate how frustrating and disappointing it can be. I think what I love about you, mate, is you've not only managed to find a form of therapy and recovery that works for you, but now you've actually built a venture and really a way to transform your own experience into a way to help others who have also been struggling with pain. So that's fucking awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really proud of you. And
yeah.
yeah, can you tell? Yeah, perhaps shed a bit more light on some of the main challenges, I suppose, that you were experiencing before we started working together.
Yeah, for sure. No, and thank you for saying that. I guess for me it was I so for context, for anybody watching this, I was aware deep down that there was a problem that I wanted to fix first and foremost. So I was always open to coaching, right? But what it was for me is that really pinpointing where I was going wrong, and one of the big things was lack of time awareness and organization and lack of structure. So, for example, I would have sessions of personal training, and then I might you know be unproductive in the middle of the day, train later, didn't know how to organize and structure my day. And then I guess one of the more powerful things Dave helped me with was time blocking and becoming methodical about that, and setting aside 30, 60 minutes on Sunday, going, okay, here's what I need to do this week, need to do these programs, need to do this for the coaching app, whatever it is I was working on. And that just allowed me to become so much more productive. And the ironic thing is that I have more free time now than I did before, but I'm doing triple or quadruple the amount of work I'm doing because I'm so much more productive. There's no, time where I'm just dicking around and wasting time. And now, obviously, I'm still human. I train on average at least an hour and a half a day, whether that's running or weights or sport. So I still have lots of time to myself, but it's about maximizing my time efficiency. So when I'm working, phones down, I'm zoned in, and I know what I need to do. And that's probably one of the most powerful things that I learned, and that you may hopefully experience as well if you work with Dave. So yeah.
Mate, that's such an epic result to share, and I think it's a testament to you actually, leaning into that. Given it's something that you hadn't tried and implemented to this level before, like you leaned in, you started, taking time blocking on board and implemented it, and I mean that's such an awesome um, impact on productivity. And I'm curious, like how has that impacted you personally as well? Like, what have been the ripple effects in that area as a result of the stuff that we worked on together?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'd say on a personal, I'd say, I mean, maybe people around me don't necessarily feel this, but I mean, hopefully they do. And over the coming months, as I get better, they will definitely more. But I think I can be a little bit more relaxed now, um, when I'm just hanging out with friends and family or whatever, because I'm not as stressed out about things because I'm more structured. Because I've been able to develop more structure around my personal life and my business life. And as I said, I was able to get more done and more done efficiently, so that you know, if I start work at 7 a.m., you know, finish clients around 12 or 1 or whatever it is, and then I can train, and then sort of 6:37 is my deadline where I cut off, and there's no more. There's no more. I can't do anymore. So, just try and have that time to chill out, read a book, watch a movie, whatever it is. And that's allowed me to have, deeper connections with friends and family, and just be better physically and mentally, because then I'm also sleeping better and all the rest. So yeah, definitely a big ripple effect in the personal life and subsequently the business life as well. So yeah.
Unreal, mate. So proud of you because I feel like, setting healthy boundaries is something that we hear often, but it can be harder. It's easier to talk about it than it is to implement it, I feel. And in all line of work, and with respect to the work that you're doing, you're serving clients, you're running a business, it can be demanding. And the fact that you've made a promise to yourself and said, this is where I'm going to unplug from the matrix and actually prioritize myself and the people I love is awesome. I think it's so important for everyone, and I'm glad that this really helped you. Thanks for sharing, brother.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely really powerful, as well as it, because it sets deadlines. It sets daily deadlines. Okay, I've got from, maybe 1 until 6. I've done my training now, so then I've only really got 4 hours plus little breaks. So I've only really got 3 hours of proper, deep, dedicated work. It's bang, bang, bang. Because if you only have 3 hours as opposed to sort of you got all day, well then you're going to work much more efficiently, and that allowed me to get distracted less and get more done. So yeah, really tangible benefit there, I'd say.
Awesome, awesome, and yeah, when you say stuff like it's helped you work more efficiently. Like, what have can you expand, I guess, on what those changes and impacts have looked like, in your work, in your PT business?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'd say just being able to deliver a higher quality product, because before I would be more stressed. I wouldn't have my programs as organized as they should have been. And now, I've got programs written out, months in advance. And, obviously I still customize each client's individual program, but it can be based off of larger programs. Now, obviously, there's still times where I make a client's program completely from scratch, but it just allows me to be more efficient. And then also having times where I dedicate strictly to, checking on the coaching app. And, there's also another platform that I'm building at the moment that'll be released shortly, on School, SKOOL. And that'll be also in that time. So it's like just being able to be more present in the moment. And then also, because with the time blocking, doing it at the start of the week or doing it every half week, you have a clear objective list of what you need to do and what you need to hit. It becomes satisfying to tick it off, tick, 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 tick,
Mm.
tick. And then each little time block, you've done it. And then there's not as many crazy thoughts going on, because you're not stressed about that. It's all just, okay, well, something is going on here, just write it down and then chuck it in the time block machine. And it's like, it just sort of it just sort of does itself. You know, obviously you've got to do the work and you've got to get good sleep, but if you do that and you want to succeed, like it's a real game changer. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean it's wild how yeah something so simple can um, take a lot of the energy and the power out of our thoughts when we can just have it in front of us on the calendar, and we know what we're working on at any one time. So that's awesome, man. And it
Yeah.
sounds like what changes you've noticed with work has helped you, yeah, pour more loving energy into creating these programs and being present with clients. And I think the community that you're building on school shows that you want to go the extra mile for your clients, and really help them feel like they're part of a community,
Yeah.
which I think is super important, especially for someone going on their fitness journey, to have that accountability and feel like they're part of a community. So it's awesome. That's really
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah, no, exactly, and just as a side note, like I've been able to spend an extra 3 hours a week, either one session or two sessions a week playing basketball externally, not just on my Thursday night games, which I've really enjoyed and loved because of time blocking. Because I'm like, okay, I've got time, middle of the day, and whatever. It's a luxury. I get it. I'm a PT. I usually get downtime in the middle of the day. Because of time blocking, be able to go and just have fun and play basketball and get better at that, which is something that, if you want to say it like this, my inner kid wants to do, because for me, it helps me keep young mentally and physically. Because if I'm playing basketball, I'm having fun, I'm feeling good. So makes me more productive there, and then more productive out of work. So what's one benefit that you notice, Dave, of time blocking? Like what's one, obviously aside from productivity, like what would you say is like the biggest thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, firstly, I love that you get to let little Robes go run wild on the court, and you've scheduled in joy and play, which I think as we get older, it can be easy to lose sight of.
Yes.
So that's awesome, man. That really is. I'm glad that you're doing it and that you're keeping it up, because it's such a great way to break the day up. Um, as for time blocking, I think I really benefit from the fact that I don't have to think about what I'm doing each day, because I sit down at the end of the week and I plan the following week's work ahead, and so when I wake up, I know what I'm doing. When it gets to lunchtime, I know what the afternoon looks like. So it's just like it opens up my you know headspace and brain capacity to focus on what's important, as opposed to worrying about what I should be doing next. So yeah, that's an important one for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. No, that's great. I just want to interject there, just for anybody at home listening. One of the things Dave just spoke about is called decision fatigue, and it's something that I'm trying to teach some of my clients that want that about, because decision fatigue is a really big thing, and it's also a big thing when it comes to diet and exercise. It's like you've done all this, you've had a big day, whatever, and then you haven't planned your food, or you haven't planned time to make food or buy food, and then Macca's is around the corner, and then you might go and cheat there. So it applies to literally everything in your life, and I think, yeah, just being more aware of that stuff is super crucial. So, yeah, thanks for sharing, bro.
Mate, I'm glad that resonated. I really am. And I'd love to hear, I suppose, yeah, as we bring this to a close, like where do you think you would be, and how would you be feeling now, I guess, if you hadn't taken the chance to work with me?
Um, I would definitely be months, if not years behind. I also have a separate mentor and business coach that I'm working with at the moment. And then one of my favorite online business coaches, Alex Hormozy, one of his biggest takeaways was, or one of my biggest takeaways from him was, don't invest in the S&P 500, invest in the S&Me 500, which basically just means invest in coaching, because coaching is something that will pay your current ignorance debt. So it's like when you go in the gym, if I would start out again, I would pay my current ignorant debt of knowing nothing to a personal trainer so that I don't get injured and I progress faster. Just like me, I would pay my current ignorant debt back in September of being unorganized, lacking, structure and all the rest to get to where I am now. Yes, it was an investment of my time and my money, but it was definitely worth it. And now that I know it for the rest of my life. So, yeah, I would say I'd definitely be a lot further behind. I would say also helping me realize and actualize my own self-image and boosting productivity is a big thing as well, because not that I was ever not confident before or whatever. I would say just trying to be more objective with how I view myself and what I want to do and impact in the world was one of the things that your sort of self-actualization image protocol helped me with. So yeah, definitely would not be hyperbole to say I would be a lot further behind, years, if not months. So yeah.
Hey, thank you for sharing. That's I think it's one thing to um, acknowledge that you have a problem or that you have an issue or that there's an area of your life that you want to improve on, and then it's another thing to actually have the awareness to acknowledge it and then invest in yourself, invest in the S&Me 500 to then work on it, and actually apply what you're learning as opposed to just collecting more information. So yeah, mate, like I said before, I'm really proud of the journey that you've been on, and just the energy that you brought to it, actually taking on board everything that we went through and implementing it and seeing the change, personally and in your business. So yeah, thank you, Rubes.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Cheers, bro. I appreciate that a lot. And I think one last thing I'll say is that for anybody who is on the fence about coaching, just know this. There's books out there, there's knowledge out there, there's everything out there already. The biggest reason for coaching is that you get a real-time direct feedback loop to fix an issue. Because there's books out there for everything, books out there for personal training, but the value in it is going, Rubes, fix this now, this will happen, you won't be in pain here. And that's the benefit of coaching, at least in my opinion. So yeah, thanks for having me on, Dave, and I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, mate.
All good, man. Easy. See you around. Thanks.